Welcome to the table. My name is Max, and this is Table Knots. And today I want to tell you about a couple of games that were on my Shelf of Shame video that you probably saw a couple weeks back, and are finally no longer there. So this is going to be just a accountability series, basically. I'm going to attempt to upload one video every week talking about games throughout 2021 that I've been able to play, that I had on my Shelf of Shame for quite some time, and just some initial first impressions on them, whether I'm going to immediately toss them out, whether I'm going to for sure hold on to them, or whether I feel like they maybe need a couple more plays. So, to start it all off, I've only got 2 games this week. I played 2 games that were on my shelf of shame this week, and I'll be honest, I really enjoyed them both. So, starting off simple, this is a little tiny deck of cards. It's a little party game called Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. Some of you may have seen this. I received this in the stocking from my wife when we opened up our gifts on video, and I ripped the box. It was slightly tight and difficult to open. But this is just a little simple card game. It's 3 to 8 players. I've played it at 4 people with my wife and parents, whom I am fortunate enough to see because they provide childcare for us. So I know that this is not a game that is going to be able to be played for many of you all. But this is a little card game in which you have a deck of cards that is divided evenly amongst everyone at the table. You are flipping over the top card, and no matter what the card says, you must go around the table in order saying taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza. So I'm going to flip the first card no matter what it is and say taco, even if it's a goat, right? I'm going to say taco, even if it's a goat. And then the next person says cat, even if it's cheese. But then say the next person flipped a cheese and also had to say cheese because, oh, I'm sorry, I've already got it wrong. And that's part of the problem. Say the next person flips a goat and it is a goat. Then everyone at the table would know it's a match, and you slap the card. The last person to slap the card takes the deck. And basically, once you've run out, you have to be the first to slap a match, and you win the game. So super simple, super funny. There's special cards you can see on the top of the box here. A gorilla, narwhal, groundhog, in which you have to do silly things. When a gorilla comes up, no matter what was said, it doesn't matter. When these cards come up, you do the action. When a gorilla comes up, you beat your chest and then slap the card. When a groundhog comes up, you knock on the table and then slap the card. When a narwhal comes up, you do this and then slap the card. And so it's very silly. If you're not into these silly, family-friendly card games, this is certainly not for you. However, it provided a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, very quick setup, very quick teardown, very quick rules instruction. I'm actually happy to own this in my collection, and it will certainly be one that I don't know if it'll be one that I regularly play over and over again with the same group. I'm sure a few times are going to happen, but I will certainly bring this out to people that have not played it before, and it's just a riot. Oh, it's so much fun. And if you think there's a match but there's not and you flinch, well, you get the deck of cards. I mean, it's really fun. It's just really silly, really fast paced, and it's honestly just a blast. I don't know how much this costs. I would assume it's a deck of cards, probably about $10 or less, but I do wholeheartedly recommend it as long as you are willing to play a very fun, quick, light, silly kind of card game. That's Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. And then the next game, which I have been dying to try for a while now, is a legacy game by none other than the Doctor himself, Reiner Knizia. This is Cosmos My City. Now, this is a legacy city building game. It's played over 8 sessions, 8 chapters with 3 episodes each, so 24 little sessions. That is a hard stop, no more, no less. Every 3 episodes, you'll open up a new envelope called a chapter that will give you different stickers you'll apply to your board. It will give you different rules that will apply per episode, and they stack, right? So in chapter 1, episode 1 introduces rule A. Episode 2 introduces rule B and C, but you follow rules A, B, and C. And then episode 3 introduces rule D, and you follow rules A, B, C, D. So each game session is just different enough. It's incredibly simple. It's a little tile laying, Tetris-like game. They're polyominoes, and essentially you've got a deck of cards. So each player has the same options available to them. So it's kind of like a roll and write in the sense that everyone has the same things to work with. It's how you use them that makes the game different. So you'll flip a card, and it may have a symbol that's like an L shape, a red L shape. And that means you've got the red L to put down on your board. And that's the same that your opponent will have. And it can be 2 to 4 players. I'm just playing it with my wife at 2 players. We've only played the first chapter. Now, with that being said, I'm hoping that we can play a chapter a week, if not more, and knock this out in 2 months, because it's really, really a good time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You're putting stickers on your board. There's a little bit of a handicap system. So, like, I won episode 1, and because I won episode 1, I put a double rock sticker on my board, which rocks are not good. You want to cover them up. And my wife, because she did not win, got a single tree to put on her board. And trees are good. They're worth an extra point if you leave them uncovered. So I love that little catch-up mechanism. The games are very tight and close. I think the first episode I won by 4 points. Second episode, we tied. So we actually didn't find rules for tying in the Campaign Legacy game for just 2 people. So we kind of made it up on the fly. If you know those rules, let me know, because it's liable to happen again. And in the third game, she beat me by 1 point. So it's very nice and tight, super fast, and it doesn't feel like it takes long at all. This is actually becoming more of a review than I wanted it to be. This is just initial impressions, but I really, really like My City if you've got people in that kind of light legacy game that you're going to be able to meet up with them regularly, aka your partner or your parents or your family in general. Or your roommate or whatever that is. If you've got people that want to experience a legacy game and putting the stickers and ripping up cards, which I've not done yet, but I'm assuming you do. I don't know, maybe not. Probably not, actually. Probably no ripping up of cards in this game. But you're affecting the game and you're building a story and your city looks different than theirs and all that things. It's really enjoyable. I really like it. This is probably my... Is this my first Reiner Knizia game ever? I'll have to check that out. That might be my first ever Reiner Knizia game, which is, I mean, it's the Doctor, right? That's not, wild. Anyways, My City and Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza, final verdicts. Are they staying? Are they going? You probably don't need me to explain this because you've picked up on the vibes throughout the video, but Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza is certainly staying. Takes up a very minimal amount of shelf space, fits in your pocket, fits in your purse, whatever, and it's just a blast, especially, like I said, I've only played it once. The games do last a decent amount of time unless someone destroys it. It says 10 or more minutes. We probably played one single game for 25, 30 minutes almost, but it did not overstay its welcome. We still had a blast the whole time. I'm sure we'll play it again, and I'm excited to introduce it to more people. And like I said, very small, very simple, and very fun if you're okay with a silly card game. And My City will certainly be staying on my shelf. Definitely going to beat the campaign. I really, really like this game, and Danielle liked it too. With that being said, we're only playing at 2 people, so it's likely that we could play it again at 2 people another time with this same thing. I will probably pass it on to someone else who I think can play it at 2 people, because basically there's 4 boards, so we're only permanently marking on 2 and permanently adding stickers to 2. The stickers may pose a problem if you don't have enough for a second game, but I genuinely think that it will be okay to play a second game. You may have to alter 1 or 2 things. So maybe I pass this on to a friend of mine or my parents that I think might enjoy it. I really like it. Don't think I want to play it a second time when I'm done, but I certainly want to finish the 8-chapter campaign. I'm having a really good time with this, and maybe I'll talk more about it later as it gets better. I'm assuming it gets better because everyone has told me, Max, it gets better. So, we'll see. This is Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza and My City. They are off the shelf of shame. Thank goodness for that. Hope to see you next week when I bring you back more games that have been finally removed from my shelf of shame. If I was able to remove any from my shelf of shame. Wow, this series is going to make me feel really responsible to get some games played every week, which is a good thing. That's kind of what I'm hoping it does. If you've played any new games that you've had looming around for quite some time, let me know. What were they and how did you get along with them? I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much. My name is Max, and we will see you next time.